We are down here in Long Beach. Rain bands have been moving through all throughout the afternoon, and right down here on the water, the wind is picking up severely. It's bringing in a very powerful storm surge. In order to qualify for coronavirus testing at these drive-thrus, it is mandatory that you download the C Spire Health app off of your smartphone or other Android devices. Just type in UMMC Virtual COVID-19 Triage, and once inside, you'll fill out the applications and speak to health experts about how you're feeling. Even before the main part of the winter storm got here, getting to the grocery store was a challenge. To push your cart and walk across the parking lot, you had to basically slide your feet on one big solid block of ice. While schools have shut down since the COVID-19 outbreak, living rooms have become the classrooms, and for the Patton family, they've gone from siblings to classmates teaching each other. When Hurricane Laura sends its storm surge to the coast, it eventually finds its way into these canals and rivers that are around these neighborhoods, creating nice waterfront property. But when they get overflown, it eventually engulfs their driveways and their roads. Melanie, these children, some who are just toddlers, were relying on neighbors and even strangers to pick them up outside their homes after school and drive them to a community fitness center where people tried to keep them calm, but many kids kept crying for mom and dad. Fighting back tears, 11-year-old Magdalena Gomez Gregorio expressed to us her devastation being alone without her dad.
Governments, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child with cryness and everything.
This came after ICE agents raided several food plants across Mississippi, arresting 680 people believed to be in the country illegally.
While we are a nation of immigrants, more than that, we are first and foremost a nation of laws.
But those children left behind and families impacted by each raid stress their parents and friends are good people.
I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal.
The children that I'm with right now, their mom been here for 15 years. She has no record, no nothing. A lot of people here has no record. They've been here 12 years, 10 years, 15 years.
For Christina Persolta, who's the godmother of two children whose mom was arrested, she's felt helpless watching all day as the boys wonder when they'll see their mother again.
He said that his mom is gone, that he's upset with Trump. He said he just wants his mom back. And they're both crying. They've been crying about all day since they got home from school.
But with the help of Clear Creek Boot Camp owner Jordan Barnes and other community leaders, the kids will have a roof to sleep under at his gym for the night with donated food to eat.
We're going to have bedding available for them, and we're going to get food for them just to get them through the night. And if they need transport to school in the morning, we can arrange that as well.
And in times like these, those in Forest, Mississippi stress you cannot forget the children going through all this.
I understand the law and how everything works, and everything has a system, but everybody needs to hold the kids first and foremost in their mind. And that's what we've tried to do here, is just give them a place to stay, just to kind of ease the pain just a little bit.
And we have gotten numerous emails and phone calls asking how you can help these kids. To donate food or supplies, just call Jordan Barnes at the Clear Creek Boot Camp at 601-940-1690. Simply walking outside shows how dangerous the ground is from the weather elements. No matter how hard you step, it leaves no footprints because you're standing on several inches of ice. Here's what happened when people drove over it. Overnight, I-20 West traffic between the Mississippi River Bridge and the Big Black River sat at a standstill with dozens of 18-wheelers unable to make it up the hill past Clay Street. This left many stranded.
As vehicles stop, they cause a pileup, and the larger vehicles cannot climb the hill. So if you are at home, please stay at home.
I-20 in both directions eventually opened up with one lane cleared for traffic. Meanwhile, on city and county streets, we rode along with emergency management assisting essential workers.
Hospitals and nursing homes, lawn care, health facilities, we've been able, with the resources that we have, to help get folks to work. That's something that we always try to provide support for in these critical infrastructures. Obviously, they can't shut down just because it's snowing outside.
They even found a space heater for a woman who didn't have one in these single-digit temperatures.
It was like 20 degrees in the house, and I've been here cold all night. And I rushed out the family, but they couldn't come down here because I live like down a hill, and I can't come up to here, so it was so nice of this gentleman to risk himself coming down here.
Looking after the homeless, the county's only storm shelter nearly doubled its usual capacity, opening its door to 19 extra men in need. They even drove down certain streets to pick up any man who didn't have anywhere to go.
It makes a difference between life or death. You know, you take a man and you leave him outside in 10-degree weather overnight. You know, there's a very good chance he's not going to wake up in the morning. We get to minister to our brothers and sisters who are out on the street. You know, they can come in and get a good hot meal.
In times like these, the River City Rescue Mission is asking anyone who can help to please donate food, clothes, blankets, and pillows. They can be mailed or dropped off at their Washington Street location. Meanwhile, certain hotel employees found themselves living at their work for the past 4 days after icy roads made getting home impossible.
Our GM, she gives us a room to make sure we all have somewhere to stay and we can get here and work and clock in the morning. We have crock pots and little hot plates and frying pans, so if we were able to find the meat that was in the deep freezer that we had, it was okay to cook it.
Mayor George Flaggs of Vicksburg also extended the curfew because of the harsh weather conditions, so until Wednesday at 12 noon, all non-essential travel and work must come to a halt. The Delta town of Holly Bluff has been through so much in 2019, losing almost all their agriculture business to the backwater flood, but now they have to lose their only gas station and hardware store for farmers too, as the building went up in flames this morning.
Assistant Holly Bluff volunteers got a report of a structure fire. Could be next door to 815 Highway 16 West.
The call came in at 2:16 a.m. as fire engulfed the Price Oil Company store and gas station.
It could have got to that propane tank right next to the building. You know, you see gas pumps there. It could have got to those, could have explosion right here in town. But we're mainly getting that knocked down, kind of giving away from the gas pumps.
Like many rural Delta businesses, the Price Oil Company building, built in 1941, holds a great deal of history and memories serving Holly Bluff.
I've enjoyed being here, and I really hope that, you know, we have contributed to the community. And I've made a lot of friends.
As the years have gone by, Holly Bluff has seen dozens of local businesses and stores close their doors for good, leaving the town to dry. Now their only gas station and hardware store is another one gone.
You don't realize how much you rely on something until it's gone. And this was our only source of gas, hoses and things for the farmers, parts for the tractors and things.
He fixed hydraulic hoses for equipment and sold batteries, nuts and bolts, and just all kind of stuff. We'll have to drive to Rolling Fork or either Yazoo City every time we need something now.
Investigators are still unclear as to how the fire started, but owner Buddy Strong has had a history of break-ins on the property, and doors usually locked were found busted open when firefighters first arrived. The investigation is still ongoing as to what or who may have caused the fire. If you have any information, you are urged to call the Yazoo County Sheriff's Office. Reporting in Holly Bluff, Alex Love, 12 News. At the heart of this case is Edwards accusing Supervisor Archie of being convicted of felons like sexual battery. Even when it comes to being charged, Archie denied all accusations.
The answer is no, that I have not been arrested for a felony.
Well, not exactly. We did some digging after Supervisor Archie refused to specify what information Edwards said was true. We discovered in 1996, before he was a supervisor, the man was arrested for sexual battery in DeKalb County, Georgia. But the charges were later dropped. Then on September 7th of 2016, Archie was also arrested for domestic violence, but again was never convicted. Basically, the students say that they find themselves navigating between getting an education while keeping themselves, their classmates, and families healthy. Group chat messages obtained by 12 News show in the daytime Delta Technical Medical Assistant class, at least 4 students as of Thursday tested positive for the coronavirus after attending class all week. Asia Crockett, who's 9 months pregnant, became the 5th Friday. Since others tested positive, the medical assistant program did switch online for this week. But in emails obtained by 12 News may still need to come in after instructors informed everyone they must pick up law and ethic books Wednesday and go through on lab schedules required to attend on site. Despite being a mostly rural area, Scott County has seen the highest spike over the past week in coronavirus cases, bringing them to a total of 296 as of Wednesday afternoon, the 3rd highest in Mississippi. Outside the main employee entrance at the Cook Foods plant in Morton sits a sign reading, "Heroes work here." But for some, the plant's actions are not living up to those words.
Our lives should be more important than some ticket. We're really, really risking our lives and our health and our family.
The state auditor's office analyzed how much and where the Department of Education spent money over a 10-year span. The numbers show when it comes to salaries, those inside the classroom got the short end of the stick. From 2006 to the end of the 2016-2017 school year, Mississippi saw a 3% drop in student numbers and an 8% drop in teachers. Administrative spending, however, grew by 18%.
If you had reduced the amount of outside the classroom spending at the same rate the number of students went down, you'd have today about $358 million more that you could really spend on anything.
And had that been done, Mississippi could have given every public school teacher an $11,000 pay raise this year. Both drivers are teaming up to seek legal action against the sheriff's office. They see the issue centered around racial profiling plus harassment. Ross says deputies found nothing illegal, but wrote him a ticket for an illegal lane change. Problem is, the ticket was in someone else's name, and he was handed that person's driver's license.
I don't know who the this is. I never saw this person a day in my life. Then wrote me a ticket for somebody that I don't even, ticket not in my name.
That name on the ticket and driver's license belonged to Tarmario Sumler of Jackson, stopped by the same deputy an hour earlier. Whether you're on the ground or up in the air, roads and agriculture in Yazoo County remain taken over by water.
We need help down here. We don't need these talk shows. We need help. And nobody seems like they care.
Many times, emergency officials now have to travel by air to assess the damage and check in on those trapped. We went up for a ride with them to see how it looked. As we're flying 1,500 feet in the air, looking out the window shows just how serious this region of the county has been affected. Roads and farmlands have been completely engulfed, and the water stretches on for miles.